Hey, Buff Nation, welcome into another edition of S2S Colorado Live. I'm your host, Manny. As always, make sure to follow me on X at Manny_303 and Instagram at 303_Manny. You can also catch me on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon, or whatever it is that you get your podcast from. Any contributions would be much appreciated. Again, not required, but appreciated. At Venmo, you can find me at Manny S2S. So today, right, game day eve, night before the game. We'll go over the Ralphie report tonight, recruiting, my Big 12 picks for the week, and Utah versus Colorado predictions. So let's jump into the Ralphie report. So Prime, this I guess, on his interview that he has weekly, he said some players showed up late from the bye week. Again, that we'll take a look at the injury report, but essentially what he said, what Prime went in and said is some players showed up late after the bye week. If you don't see them out there, you know why. So again, hopefully they can figure something out. Again, that injury report that we'll dive into is huge. And again, it's kind of weird though. Like, I don't understand that injury report, why it's so big compared to other schools. Again, it's kind of dumb anyway. It's for sports betting at this point, right? Like, to fix lines and all those things, right? So it really has no impact on the game, but it is, us as fans, I guess, nice to be able to see who's playing, who's not playing. So this past week, Prime changed practice a little bit. So again, to gear up for this weekend's matchup against Utah, Coach Prime basically said, let him know that they're down. The team was down 7. So the idea for that was to force them to fight back. Every single rep, like they are trailing in the game. And again, this is tough. I like the mindset there because, you go into Salt Lake City, you go to Utah, you're down. It feels like you're down already, right? That's a tough place to play. Again, he's bracing them for a tough battle, right? As we talked about, that line is 13.5. Buffs are 13.5 point underdogs. So yeah, it is a tough. It is going to be a tough game, regardless of what happens. So let's jump into the injury report. So let me get that pulled up for you all. So here, I don't like the way that looks. Here, the injury report this week is. I do need to be on this. So the injury report is long, as you guys can see. Out is Hakeem Williams, Simeon Price, Yaya's out, and that's our left tackle, the transfer from. I'm pretty sure that's the one from A&M. So doubtful, R.J. Johnson. So I know I said on Wednesday that R.J. Johnson was a go. Sounded like he was going to be ready to play, and Simeon Price. Neither, it looks like, are going to play. I wonder if R.J. Johnson was one of the individuals late. Was one of them late back from the bye week. So a little frustrated, questionable. That's awesome, right? Nikhil Webb Walker. I can't remember if I've seen him out on the field, but he's the one who battled through cancer last season. So that would be fantastic to get him. Probable Town Parks, Carter Stoutmeyer. Right, let me see. Reggie Hughes, Mari McNeil, BDS, Anquan Barnes, and Tawfiq Thomas. So hopefully those that's a lot on the D line there. So hopefully they're able to go. Out for the first half is Lander Barton. He is the one who had the targeting penalty last week against BYU in the fourth quarter. My understanding is he will be out through the first 3 quarters. So I don't know why it just says first half. Maybe they switched that rule. Doubtful wide receiver number 18, Tobias Merriweather. Defensive tackle number 98, Dallas. Vicari, questionable. And this is the big one, right? Devin Dampier. Him being questionable is, man, that's huge for the Buffs, right? So he'll be playing on a bum ankle, right? Regardless, I know somebody kind of told me that on the show. I didn't know because I watched that whole game last week, BYU and Utah. and he played the whole thing. You know, I know that the backup came in a handful of times, but here we are with it, though. You know, if Devin Dampier cannot go, yeah, that's you know, it tilts the, you know, that line should go down a lot, and I would expect a Colorado win at that point if he can't go or if he is limited in what he can do. So so that is what that looks like. But again, the Buffs injury report is long. Also curious who doesn't play at this point because of them showing up late from the bye week. So just something to keep our eyes on. If you notice somebody that typically plays a lot is not playing, so I'm curious about RJ Johnson because my understanding was him and Simeon Price were going to be a go this week. So I wonder if he's a couple of those dudes that Prime was talking about. Other news, YouTube TV. So Disney dropped something on Thursday. Apparently, if they can't hammer out a new deal with YouTube TV by October 30th, ABC, ESPN, and the rest of the networks, you know, that are under that umbrella of Disney are getting yanked from the platform. So call it for fans this weekend. It hits close to home, right? Or sorry, not this weekend, but hits close to home. 5 of the Buffs' first 7 games aired on ESPN. The other 2 on Fox. So good news is, though, this weekend, this has no, whatever it is that they're going through right now, the networks, YouTube TV, it will not impact this game this weekend. So that's big news because I have YouTube TV. So so that makes it a lot easier for us that have YouTube TV. But it's something to take a look out. So by next, what would that be? Next Thursday. Hopefully a deal gets hammered out. If not, you know, I'll probably end up dropping YouTube TV for those away games. And again, you're right, being out without ABC, ESPN, rest of those networks, that would be tough, especially during football season. So that's that on Ralphie report. Now into recruiting, a couple things, and there hasn't been a ton of, you know, for recruiting these past couple weeks. Or sorry, these past couple weeks with the bye week. Not a lot of news there, but one that has really intrigued me, though, was I don't know if you guys saw this, but Gavin Mueller, he is taking a visit to Miami this weekend. So, you know, like we talked about him, we've been talking about him since the, you know, midsummer, since we, you know, started this with S2S Colorado. But he's having a hell of a senior season. I know I've talked about him for quite some time now. He just looks like one of your 4 or 5-star tight ends. At the time this summer, he was a 3-star. And I said, there's no way in hell that he's not going to be a 4-star, 4 or 5-star recruit. He's going to jump up. And in some of the polls, you know, like I was talking about, he is ranked as the number 1 tight end in the country by a few of those recruiting outlets, right? On3, Rivals, 24/7. And I know in ours, I have him, you know, for the Voice of College Football Network, I have him ranked as the number 1 tight end in the country. And I have him as a 4-star on the verge of a 5-star. So he's on Flip Watch. He's on Flip Watch at this point. Yeah, so he's having a hell of a senior season. And again, on Flip Watch, hopefully that is not the case. Coach Bartolone, I know, has been hot on that one since, early this season. So other news. So we talked about Penn State, the fallout there, and how the Buffs could possibly come and swoop in. They have, corner commit. So he's a 3-star Penn State corner, Amari Polydor. He'll be taking an official visit to Colorado. I don't know when it is to take place, but I just know that is in the works. So that's someone to keep an eye on. Again, this is the fallout from firing James Franklin. And it feels a little funny about the James Franklin thing. You know, how I feel about it is I feel like in Penn State, I don't know where they come off thinking, you know, and again, that this is Georgia, Alabama, one of those prime time schools, but I don't think that was the right move to fire him. Again, I know his record against, top 5, top 10 opponents, but he's flipped that program completely, turned it around 180 degrees. So I didn't like the firing of James Franklin, but whoever does land him, going to get one hell of a recruiter in him, right? Recruiter, coach, whatever it is, right, that is needed at the college football level. But I am, my hope would be that he somehow ends up on the Buff staff, right? That would be, gosh, that'd be fantastic. But that dude's going to have people knocking down his door to get him, come right, like in about a month, right after the season's just about wrapped up. So he won't have a lack of suitors, but man, I would love for James Franklin to be able to play some type of role at CU. That'd be fantastic. Local kid, 4-star linebacker Braylon Hodge. He was originally committed to Michigan State. He was one that was in attendance at the BYU game. He's a local kid from Cherry Creek High School. I thought the Buffs were going to land him, right? The local kids. He has committed to Oregon. So, yeah, that's, too bad. A good linebacker. Again, Cherry Creek High School produces a ton of good football players. They're one of the best programs in the state. Well, they are the premier program in the state of Colorado. But man, that's too bad though that they couldn't land him. The Buffs are going to have to start finding a way to keep the kids, right? The 4-star recruits, the top recruits here in the state of Colorado. So whether they're going to have to start building a pipeline here. And again, that sounds crazy, right? To not have a pipeline in the own state, but there's too many talented kids, athletes leaving this state at this point. So they really, really got to buckle down and start nailing this, right? Nailing the state of Colorado. Those players should not leave. I get the hype, all those kind of things with Oregon. And again, it's hard, right? As a 17, 18-year-old kid to not look at Oregon knocking on your door and wanting to go play at Oregon, right? With all the cool uniforms, all the success they've had. But the Buffs, this cannot continue happening. So, right, we know with Deacon Schmidt, now we have our guy, Braylon Hodge. And I know I'm missing like 2 or 3 more at this point, but they cannot continue leaving the state at this rate. So, some work to put in. Some work definitely to put in the state of Colorado in their own backyard at this point. So, but that's it for recruiting. That one hurts a little bit. The local kids. So, man. All right, so let's dive into some Big 12 game picks. Now, man, I really, if you were on Wednesday or even last Friday, man, my Big 12 picks were bad. I went 2-4 overall. I have 7 to choose from this week. So let's see how I can do this week. So start with Kansas State at Kansas. This is obviously in Lawrence. It is, as of right now, -3.5, so 3.5-point favorites for Kansas. This one kicks off at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Okay. Now, this one's tough, right? Rivalry games are tough. In-state rivals. It's not, travel's not going to be an issue. There will be a lot of Kansas State fans there in Lawrence. Man, this is tough. Okay, I'm going to roll with Kansas in this one. I'm picking Kansas to win. I think they get it done there. 3.5-point favorites. So I'm going to roll with Kansas, but it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be a close game. I would not be surprised if Kansas State does, in fact, win this game. Kansas State they've been playing well. So what was it? Was it TCU last week? Let me see. I got to see. But they beat TCU. Who did they beat last week? They beat somebody last week where I was kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah, they beat TCU 41-28. Lost the week before by 1 to Baylor, at Baylor. Yeah, they're starting to put it together a little bit, Kansas State, and they have a lot of talent on that roster. Oh man, this is tough. I'm going with Kansas. My gut says to pick Kansas State in this game, but I'm going to pick Kansas and roll with that. And partly a little bit biased. That's my master's. That's my alma mater for that. So I'll roll with the Jayhawks in this. Next one, number 11, BYU at Iowa State. Why is that line? I think this line has to be wrong real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. I made this the other day kind of quickly at night. Let me see. I don't think there's no way that could be the odds. Is that correct? Oh, yeah. Okay. Nope. I'm correct here. Negative. So Iowa State is 3-point favorites in this game. So, right. Home team gets 3 points. As much as I want to pick Iowa State. Oh, man. See, these are tough. I'm going to go with BYU in this game. I'll take BYU. So give me them. Mark that one for BYU. The way that BYU's playing, I don't think they have a letdown coming off that big win against Utah. They have everything in front of them at this point. And again, I get the point of a trap game. One of my things is that I typically say a trap game is at home. And whatever that means, I guess, right? So BYU, because next week they go to Lubbock to play Texas Tech. 2 weeks from now they get a bye week and then they get to play in Lubbock. That's gonna be a hell of a game. So I don't think this is a trap game. Again, my opinion, trap games take place at home. Maybe if they were at home, but I don't see that here, especially with the bye week coming. So give me BYU in this one. And Bear Bachmeier, man, he's playing lights out the way that team's playing. Give me BYU in this one. So I thought I even had the wrong -2.5. I thought that should be on BYU side, and obviously it's not. Oklahoma State at number 14, Texas Tech. 2 p.m. Mountain Time. Give me Texas Tech, and they will win by 38 points. So I would say, I don't know what the over-under is, but that is not going to go well for Oklahoma State. I do think, is Baron Morton playing? Let me see. I think he's good to go. No, he's not. They're starting Hammond. So I do think Texas Tech wins. I don't like doing the spread thing. This is tough, right? And especially what happened yesterday. All the fallout, I guess, this past week in the NBA and all that. Again, not saying that's with none of that stuff, but I'm not good at picking spreads, anything like that. But I'll go. Oklahoma State's so bad. I think they still cover with Hammond starting as well. So Texas Tech and I think they win by 49-10 or something like that. 49-3, 49-7, something like that. So give me Tech there. Baylor at Cincinnati, another 2 p.m. Mountain Time kickoff. I'll roll. Oh, this is tough. Man, this is a tough one too because Baylor's been playing pretty good as of late. They're just one of those teams that you just never know. You're just never sure of them because they have a lot of talent. I'm not sure. Let's see. Neo, hey, thanks for joining us tonight, man. Really appreciate it. Weekend time. So excited. Big game tomorrow. Really excited for this tomorrow. So, glad you can make it with us. Baylor at number 21, Cincinnati. Man, give me Cincinnati. Cincinnati looks good. I think they win by 3. So field goal. And maybe I'm just underrating Cincinnati this year, but I feel with Cincinnati though, I guess that they're a weird one. I don't know how you all feel about it, but they are I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about them for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just not used to Cincinnati being good. They have a good roster. They're well coached. Cincinnati. Give me Cincinnati. Cincinnati. Yeah, Neo says Cincinnati easy. Okay. Neo, what do you think they're 3.5? What do you think the final score will be there? I don't know the over-unders. I didn't put those on here. But I'm just curious. Cincinnati's a good football team. So, I'll go with Cincinnati. I don't know what it is about Baylor. So, I picked them last week against TCU. That was a terrible, terrible idea on my part. So I should probably not do that. So, give me Cincinnati. TCU at West Virginia. I got TCU. TCU wins this game. Again, with the spread on this one, I don't know. I mean, I guess they'll cover it. I have no idea. Okay, so Neo says they'll definitely cover that spread. Okay, we'll roll with Neo. We're taking you there. So and cover. All right, I like it. Yeah, I wish I was a lot better at these kind of things, man. I start to pick with my heart a little bit too much here, or what I think needs to happen for the Buffs or whatever it may be. But yeah, TCU, West Virginia is not very good. Them and Oklahoma State are one of the two of the worst. They're the two worst teams in the Big 12 for sure. And out of all Power 4 conferences, two of the worst teams in the country. So, yeah, but TCU, yeah, I think they cover here as well. Let's go Houston at number 24, Arizona State. I think it was 7.5 yesterday. Looked again before the show a little bit ago, and they were at 7, Arizona State. So, yeah, Houston's tricky. I don't know what to think of them yet. I think Arizona State wins this game, but I just don't know what to think of Houston at this point. I know they're well coached with Willie Fritz, but I just don't know. I can't get a real good read on them. Like last week they beat Arizona by 3. Texas Tech beats the brakes off of them. They beat Oregon State by 3. I really don't know what to think of them. And I think Arizona State wins. What I'm trying to decide is the spread here. If Arizona State can cover. I don't know. I think they should, but Houston's tricky though. It's almost like you don't know which team's going to show up each week with them. So, yeah. And but I got Arizona State winning this game. Give me this. They'll cover. Arizona State will cover. And then we'll get into this one here in a bit, but just so you know, Colorado, Utah's favored by 13.5, 2 touchdowns. Kicks off at 8:15 p.m. tomorrow. Speaking of that, Mountain Time, I will be doing a show since it's an away game. I'll be live, give me about 10 minutes after the game to get some thoughts out, process a little bit of the game that we just watched. But I want to do my prediction here at the end, go over a couple things that I think is going to happen, keys to the game. But yeah, I think I'm leaning a certain way. I started doing this the other night. I still don't have my prediction in. I think I'm just going to kind of talk myself through it on here with you guys. So I don't have a prediction yet. I think I know where I'm leaning, but I don't know where I'm leaning, if that makes sense. And just real quick too, we've been promoting Rebet. If you guys, I'm going to put it in the chat. Take a look at it. Again, if you guys sign up through the link or you use the code VOCFBCU, you can get a price match, 100% price match up to $100. Again, it helps out the what I do here, helps out the channel. Just really appreciate it. And at the same time, make sure you like the video, subscribe. Again, all of the views, everything like that really helps us out. And again, this thing is growing slowly but surely. But just appreciate you guys being on here, or whenever it is that you stream it. But really, really do appreciate each and every single one of you. Also, let me get this pulled up. If you do have a gambling problem, please make sure you call 1-800-GAMBLER right here on the screen. Again, 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-GAMBLER. So, but if you guys do decide to do it, sign up through the link. It does help out the channel. So, or use the code VOCFBCU. Really do appreciate it. All right, let's jump into our next thing, keys to the game. So, the keys to the game. I had a tough time with this a little bit. I guess the third key this week, it was I guess we'll get into that. But first one, stop Dampier running. So they have to be able to contain him. He can't go wild on him. Right? We know what Utah wants to do. They want to run the football. I think it was 53% of the time they run the football, 47 pass. Devin Dampier is the leading rusher on this Utah team. I think it's at 458 rushing yards. He leads the team in rushing. Obviously leads the team in passing, but if you can make him, and I don't even want to say one-dimensional, you make him a passer first, the Buffs will have a lot of success there. You got to make him throw the rock. Isaiah Yates, With RJ Johnson being out, my hope is that he starts. I think they found something there against Iowa State before the bye week. My hope is that he does start now that RJ Johnson's out, and that dude can play. He looked good against Iowa State. I was very impressed with him. So I believe that's what they got to do. He has to be sticky, make them throw the football, disciplined on defense. And with the defense, they have to make sure to stay in their gaps, make their correct reads, especially on those read option plays, right? And again, Utah's running back is averaging 6 yards per carry as well, right? And a lot of read options coming their way. So London Merritt, Alex McPherson, Arden Walker, and Keaton Wade, right? They got to stay home. Stay home, read, make your reads correctly. Then, whatever it is, gives it, go crashing down. But they have to make sure that they're making their reads. Linebackers have to fill the gaps. The correct gaps can't get caught in the wash. And they cannot. The next key to the game is no missed tackles, right? Like, we know this team has had an issue with that this year. There's been a lot of missed tackles. That can't happen. That can't happen against Devin Dampier. He will make them pay. He will take one that should be a loss of 1, and he'll take it 70 yards for a touchdown the other way if you miss a tackle. So this team, you can't do this. It'll be a long day on defense if they cannot tackle. Again, like we've talked about, this has been a problem for the Buffs. It seems like this has been going on forever. And again, the running quarterback in college football is a thing, right? Teams struggle with it. But it just feels like it's worse when you watch a Colorado game. I don't know about you guys, but it feels a lot worse when we're watching the Buffs play. So my hope is that they worked on that over the bye week. They stressed it. Again, they're stressing it every single week, but hopefully these missed tackles, they got to stop. They got to stop. The Buffs would win some more football games. Now, this last one, this one was kind of tough. Right, part of me want to say, well, you got to run the ball and keep the offense off the field, right? All that, but I decided, they're on the road, they're at Salt Lake, they're in Salt Lake City. They got to win the turnover battle. The Buffs defense has to force a couple turnovers. So I'm trying to think of the last minimum 2 turnover game that the Buffs have had. There's no way it goes back all the way to Georgia Tech. I'm probably just drawing a blank. I was trying to do this off memory, not looking up stats and all that, but I'm pretty sure, chime in if you guys can, but I'm pretty sure the last time they forced 2 turnovers in a game was the game against Georgia Tech, right, in the first quarter. So, I'm thinking against Iowa State, there was just that one. Well, I mean, they stopped them on 4th down, but I mean, forced a turnover, like an interception, fumble recovery. I'm pretty sure that it was only just that one that Taufik Bayard had in the end zone, which may or may not have been pass interference. Who knows? Who cares? But I'm not sure the last time the Buffs had to force 2 turnovers in a game this season outside of that Georgia Tech game. So I know BYU, they had a couple opportunities, more than a couple opportunities. They had about 3 different opportunities in that game. TCU, I don't know if they forced one against TCU. I know Kane Salter had 3, right? 3 picks. I'm just trying to think back of forcing a turn. I'm pretty sure it's Georgia Tech. So, but anyway, they got to win the turnover battle. You cannot go into Salt Lake City. You cannot play a good team like Utah and lose the turnover battle for 1, or even tie the turnover battle and hope to win. They have to start getting that ball out. They have to start attacking, see ball, get ball, go try to, and again, make the tackle first, make sure that we're wrapped up, but the ball, strip that thing out there, do what you can, pull, yank it, punch it, right? I was watching a clip the other day, and I totally forgot about this, but when Peanut Tillman, he had the 4 forced fumble game against the Titans when he was a Bear. Holy cow, if you have not seen that, now I remember, but man, I totally forgot about that game. That is one you guys should go watch. So just go check that out. That is what the Buffs have to play like this weekend in Salt Lake City. And again, every weekend for sure, but this is the last humongous test, really tough environment that they're going into this season. So they got to force some turnovers. activate Peanut Tillman, Charles Woodson mode, whatever it is. They got to go force some turnovers here. Now, with all that being said, the predictions that I have, it's still, I wish I could show you guys my note screen. It is still blank with prediction. So now, if the Buffs can make Devin Dampier, and these are a lot of ifs, right? This is like the perfect game. So if they can hit all three of the keys that we just talked about, stop Dampier running, make him throw the rock. And again, it's hard to say no missed tackles, but cut that down maybe to, right, 2 or 3 missed tackles, somewhere around there, right? Like an average missed tackle, when they start getting up to the 9, 10, 11, 12, that is when this team starts to have problems. But they can do that, right? 2 or 3 missed tackles, fine. If they can do that and then win the turnover battle, I think the Buffs have a pretty solid chance of winning this. I don't know where everybody else is at, right? That 14 points feels like a lot, considering that there's only been one game where the Buffs have totally had it, totally just got blown out, and that was against Houston, right? That's the only one this season, right? The Buffs have been in every game, so I think 14 is quite a bit. Again, even, you look at TCU, they lost 35-21, but it wasn't, that score was not a reflection of what the game looked like, right? So I think the Buffs are going to make this close. I think this is a game that's going to go into the fourth quarter and down to the wire. This is Gosh, this is a tough one. So Neo, we're speaking. I feel like the Buffs have a chance to win, but if Utah wins, I don't think they will cover that spread. Yeah, I'm with you there. I think I got like a 3 field goal, 7-point game, 6-point game, somewhere around there. I don't think this is one of those ones where the Buffs get killed. They haven't, it's been once, and they're coming off a bye, right? They've had 2 weeks to game plan for this, and hopefully they did in fact do that. If they can do those 3 things, I got the Buffs by 3, right? If Utah does win this game, though, I do not think it's by 2 touchdowns. And again, if it is, it's like one of those plays like TCU had at the very end of the game. But I do think this is one the Buffs can win, and I talked about this, is these wins that Utah had this year, right, early in the season, like a month ago, they don't look as good as they did at once, right? So, right, even that, like the UCLA game, I was like, man, they just went into the Rose Bowl, right, to Pasadena and just beat the brakes off UCLA. Great, but now we seen what UCLA has gone through since. Fired, Deshaun Foster after 3 games. He was out. Now they look like a completely different team. That's not the same team that Utah played, right? Because then they lost to UCLA, lost to New Mexico. So it is not the same thing, right? So, right, because then they go and beat Penn State, so which is crazy, right? So not the same team. I do feel, right, I was looking at their wins. They have one quality win. So let me just pull that up again. One quality win, and that's against Arizona State. But Sam Levitt didn't play, right? So it's kind of, it's interesting, right? And even with BYU, they lost by 3 points. Same margin that Colorado lost by. And again, like we talked about, Colorado should have beat BYU, right? It was right there for the taking. So let me see. West Virginia. So let's just start at the top here. They had opened with, where are they at? That is last year. Here we are. Utah, first game of the season, 43-10 over UCLA. They beat Cal Poly 63-9. They beat Wyoming 31-6. Texas Tech beat them 34-10 in Salt Lake. They beat West Virginia 48-14. They beat Arizona State 42-10. Again, this was without Sam Levitt, though. They went into Provo, lost by 3 to BYU. And again, it didn't even, I don't know how you guys felt if you were watching it, but it never felt like at any point in that game that Utah was going to win that game. BYU was clearly the better team. And you kind of start to wonder, it feels like BYU just also plays to their competition. But I do feel, again, Colorado's the more talented team, right? We know that. They have better players. And Kyle Whittingham's one hell of a coach, but I do feel like this is a winnable game for the Buffs, and they somehow pull this off. They're sitting at 4-4 at this point, right? 4-4, and that would take them to 2-3 in the conference. Would jump Utah, and they're somewhere in that third place range at this point. So, I guess, man, I don't want to be a homer too much, but I'm gonna roll with the Buffs, right? I'm feeling good about this. I know when we were playing, I think I picked Iowa State. I don't remember, but we're walking up to the game. My wife and I, we're at Folsom, and I'm like, man, I think Colorado's going to win today, right? And it felt like that. And this is kind of the feeling I have. I could be completely wrong, so please don't make me look like this Buffs. But yeah, I have this one feels right. It feels like that Utah's a little overrated. It feels like, right? So give me the Buffs. I'll take them. I wanted to see. Let me check the over under. I haven't checked that yet. Over under for this game. So they're at 48.5. So 49. Man, 26-23 Buffs. There's where I'll roll. Okay, 26-23. Colorado wins. Yeah, I like that prediction. So let's go with this too. I'll even put the Buffs make a huge stop on the last drive of the game to keep Utah out of field goal range. So let's go with that. That's what I'm rolling with. I'm going to be a homer this week. I feel good. It feels like Salter it does feel like Caden has these last few weeks, right? And especially against Iowa State, he has figured some things out. And shouldn't just say him. It feels like this whole offensive offense, everybody's figured it out. He can throw the deep ball. He is really good at that. You throw that deep, the Buffs have receiver, right? We all know that. Omarion, right? Sincere, man, he is fast. He can run, he can get down the field. Q for 6, right? They have some ballers, man. So I'm rolling with that. And the big one is our guy, Draylon Miller, is not even on the report this week. So he'll be a go. I wish, who's not on there anymore? I was looking at this. Out. Holy cow, I missed that. DeKalen Taylor. Let me just pull this up. Yeah, the Trackhawks back. Man, that makes a world of difference, right? Like, we look at this. You guys tell me if I'm just missing this, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Trackhawks back. DeKalen Taylor is... Gosh, he adds a whole different dynamic to the offense. He was missed while he was gone. Man, that is huge to be getting him back. And the way that you have Dallin Hayden running right now, you look at that, you have a sweet 1-2 combo right now with Dallin Hayden and DeKalen Taylor. So yeah, let's roll with it, right? I don't want to get too excited. I'm about to be like, give me him by 2 touchdowns. So we're not going that route though. I got him by give me the Buffs 26-23. We'll roll with it, and if that's not the case and they lose by 14, yeah, Neo's happy about that. Man, Neo, what's your prediction? I'm just curious now. So, but if I have to face some eat crow the next, tomorrow night at 11 p.m. By the way, that's when the post game show is. I'll be okay with that. But let's go 26-23. I think Caden's going to have a good game, big game, right, to go into Utah. He's going to have to. And let's go. Oh. So Neo says 2017 Utah. All right, Neo. All right, well, hopefully you're wrong. Man. That's awesome. All right, 26-23 Buffs. I'm rolling with it. And I think – man, I'm just happy DeKalen Taylor's back. I didn't even catch that earlier. I was just thinking about it. I was like, I don't think I seen him on the injury report. So we're rolling with that this week. As always, I will, I hope so too. We'll be here tomorrow. So I have the post game. You guys can see it. Like it now. It really does help on the channel. If you guys, click on it, just give it a thumbs up, and get more, more views, all those kind of things, right? Obviously, that helps out the channel. But I think about 11 p.m. tomorrow we'll go over this. And again, that's what it's set for. I don't know when the game will end. We never, there's not a real clear time. So just know within like 10, 15 minutes after the game, we'll go live on here. Make sure to join. As always, comments are always on. And we'll talk about it and review the day. Kind of hopefully my picks go. Hopefully I'm undefeated and go 7-0 tomorrow. So that'd be some redemption for me tomorrow. But as always, I do appreciate you guys. Without you, there is no show. The way this channel is growing, it is, it when I first took over, it was growing quickly, right? Like we were spiking hard, and then something happened during the season. Again, whatever it may be, it's starting to cool off a little bit. But again, I do appreciate you guys. Without you guys, there's no show. The interaction with you guys, and again, just bringing this content to you guys the best way that I possibly can. And make sure that you do follow me at Manny_303, IG at 303_Manny, and Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcast, you guys can listen on. Just look for Colorado at the Voice of College Football. Again, that's found on any platform. And again, any contributions to the show, Venmo at Manny S2S. And then, but yeah, just excited for tomorrow. Game day's finally here. Those bye weeks suck. It was a needed bye week. Oh yeah, let's go Dodgers. Yeah, I know. I took my Shohei jersey off. I was just seeing it said it's in a delay, or no, it's delayed. I'm gonna have to go check that out. I pushed the show up to 5:15 to watch the Dodgers. So looks like there's a delay. I don't know. Hopefully everything's okay there. So but yeah, go Dodgers, Shohei, right, Mookie, all those dudes, man. I'm excited for that. So hopefully they can pull another one home. But yeah, appreciate you guys. As always, we'll catch you guys tomorrow right after the game, 10, 15 minutes after it goes final. And, like our Heisman Trophy winner, Travis Hunter, always, Skull Buffs, baby. All right, guys, thanks again. Appreciate it. Catch you guys tomorrow after the game. Have a good evening, and go Buffs.